And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of Lunch Debates. I'm your fellow co-host Dibo and my other co-host Matt.
Pleasure to be here. You didn't fumble it this time.
I didn't fumble.
Round of applause.
Round of applause for me. Let's get it. I had to get my get back. Back from last week.
I'm proud of you. I could tell that you were in the lab practicing.
I was in the lab practicing. No, I wasn't practicing. Just being confident within myself and me having the belief that I could do it. Which, for all the kids, man, if you don't have that belief, that, the ambition for you to succeed, you're not going to really achieve the stuff you want to. So a little life lesson from your boy.
But the fans also got to know that we don't get to the point where you're doing what? I think it was 16 or 17 consecutively perfect intros without us going to 50 episodes.
No.
They don't see the start.
No, not at all. And speaking on that, Matt, right? Today, our 50th episode of the Lunchroom Debates podcast. Officially, bro, what a run it's been. Short run, but, a very good run.
Short run to meteoric rise. Like that one Nike commercial. But
which one?
The Switch.
The Switch.
You know what
I'm bro, that one was, bro. Oh, my God, that commercial was a banger.
Bro, Nike's had some bangers.
Oh, God. Do you remember the World Cup commercials they did?
Yeah.
The animated one and the one with, the
where
people,
they switched.
swapping the bodies and everything. Yeah. Bro, those were so hard.
I know. They don't make those commercials anymore, though.
No, they don't. Where do all those go, man? The creativity with the commercials has been missing for years now.
100%.
For years.
100%. But away from soccer and onto something more relevant, especially at this time, I see your shirt, and I see you're rocking with Gonzaga. Is that who you're taking in March Madness this year?
Hell no. Although, one, I would be supporting Gonzaga because obviously family ties. My sister went there, so I got to root for the Zags, absolutely. But I'm not sure about them this year. I'm not the biggest men's college basketball fan. The knowledge I've had from over the years has been it's been died down for sure.
For sure.
But I know for this year with Gonzaga, they've been on the downside. A little bit of a down year, so I don't expect them to make a deep run, unfortunately.
That's fair. Who's their coach?
Mark Few still.
Mark
yes.
Few. Yeah.
Been a coach since the late 90s, I believe. Yeah.
He's one of the better ones in the game for sure.
Absolutely.
So who are you taking then if you're not taking Gonzaga?
Houston.
Houston. I've been hearing Houston's to play.
Mm-hmm. It's either Houston or UConn for this year, which I'm going with more of the sleeper pick, although Houston's one of the best teams in the league, and that defense is fucking crazy, man. So I expect them to win this year. But if not UConn, they're obviously the clear favorite to win it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go back-to-back.
UConn's they play like an NBA team in college, just with the level of spacing that they have. Mm-hmm. But it's so hard to repeat.
Yeah, it's so hard to repeat. Especially in the college game where the pure mental grind and physical grind of the March Madness tournament, it's bro, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, so right now UConn number 1, 2 is Houston, 3 is Purdue, but I don't know many people picking Purdue to win it.
Yeah, they're a limited team. Shout out Zach Edey though.
Don't sleep on Marquette. Don't sleep on Marquette,
bro,
with that defense.
That one, the point guard they got, white boy Brady Kokek, I can't pronounce his last name, but that dude nice. I know he nice for sure.
I know their defense is legit too.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is always legit though. You look at the players they've produced, whether it's a Jimmy Butler or Jay Crowder, it's guys who make their living on the defensive end of the court.
For sure.
PJ Tucker seems like he would have gone to Marquette. Tell me no.
No, he went to Texas. I know for a fact. Even then,
he
Texas.
He played with KD.
Yeah, Texas. They've been getting some dogs defensively too.
Who?
Jared Allen, all defense.
Jared Allen. You count Miles Turner?
Yeah. He counts. You could fit him in that type of build.
KD's not a bad defender either.
No, he wasn't a known defender.
Nah.
Obviously in his Thunder days, but when he made the jump to Golden State, you saw the vast improvement with him defensively.
And transitioning to the 4, he's really been able to show it, just competing on the defensive end, switchability, which, I mean, you would expect for KD to have, a good switchability, but it's just an underrated part of his game.
Absolutely. Hey, bro, yesterday with the Suns though, that was a very poor showing defensively. I'll say that for sure.
They let Dame look like prime Scott Skiles.
You talking about Dame, bro? Bobby Portis is going crazy, like wide ass open jumpers.
Dame had 16 assists.
But yeah, I mean, like, which is more surprising, them having Dame get 16 assists or Bobby Portis going crazy?
I'm a Bobby Portis guy.
I know, like...
hold up. Bobby Portis is a known Phoenix Suns owner. When you go back to that final series, he was the energy off the bench that helped the Milwaukee Bucks win that series.
Yeah, he was great in that role. Yeah. He was great. But at the same time...
Probably Bobby Portis going off.
Right. I mean, but at the same time, no Giannis. And you're a team fighting for the play-in. I don't know about that one.
Hey, shout out to the Bucks, though. Got the 2 seed back. They're looking a lot better since post All-Star break.
Hey, they ain't getting the 1 seed, though. Hey, also...
Nobody's getting the 1 seed.
No, it's clearly Boston's. But also, we got to talk about that Dallas-Denver game, bro. That was insane,
That was a good-ass game.
Before we get to, like, our actual segments, that was insane. Kyrie, the lefty from the free throw line over Jokic for game. Oh, my God. That was a beautiful performance.
That was a crazy shot. I saw you going in the chat and kind of going crazy on some Nuggets fans after the game winner.
But I mean, I had to, but they both. Hey, man, I respect the Nuggets and what they've done over the years and their fans, but like when it comes to us in the group chat, bro, it's war.
Bro, but I was about to say
it's war. I can't let them off easy.
I was about to say only, like, it might be the only case where a Celtics fan is actively rooting for Kyrie Irving right now.
I mean, I understand Celtics fans that don't hate. Well, that do hit Kyrie. I understand that completely. Yeah. But for me, hey, I let it go. The past is the past, and we got the Jays now. We're gonna win a chip this year. So at the end of the day, I'm happy.
We'll get into that if they get a chip or not.
I'm cool with
it. But you want to give the agenda for today's episode?
Yes, absolutely. The agenda I got for today's episode, 50th official episode of the Lunchroom Debates podcast. Gotta get that out the way.
Nice.
Ooh, what was that noise?
A little snort.
Yeah, snort. That was nasty. My fault, y'all. All right, let's go through it. We'll talk about the great Aaron Donald's retirement, and then move on to NFL free agency news with the Justin Fields to Pittsburgh trade, along with Keenan Allen going to the Chicago Bears, and with our main segment, our hot takes.
Hot takes, 3 each.
We both get turns. It's gonna be a wild one.
I just want to say this. I'm starting with my most modest take.
Okay.
And cooking it up all the way. All right. That's how I'm gonna release my takes. Mm-hmm. But let's get into the Aaron Donald news then.
Yes, absolutely. So with Mr. Kishinevsky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You obviously being a Rams fan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you get the floor here.
Yeah. Get that man a statue. That's all I gotta say. 3-time DPOY, Defensive Rookie of the Year. All decades team, however many All Pros, however many Pro Bowls,
a shit ton of them,
and most importantly, he got the ring.
The ring.
Get that man a statue. Probably, I'd say probably the best defensive player of our lifetime, either him or J.J. Watt. Mm-hmm. But what he's done, being there with the whole organization, being with the Rams his entire career. Man deserves a statue. He embodies what it means to be a Ram. Stayed there from the poverty days to where we are now. I can't thank the man enough.
Shout out St. Louis. Y'all got your franchise taken away, unfortunately, but y'all gonna be back. Hey, shout out the Battlehawks though, for real. They got great fans. But on Aaron Donald, obviously, four DPOYs.
4? I thought it was 3.
Nah, we got 4.
Damn.
Oh no. Oh. I meant the Defensive Rookie of the Year, excuse me.
Yeah.
1 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3 DPOYs.
Yep.
8-time All-Pro member, first-team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowl member. It's just, again, Matt, like you said, I think he's the greatest defensive player of all time. I don't think J.J. Watt comes close, and that's no disrespect to Mr. Watt, but at the same time, like Aaron Donald was on a whole completely different level. And the question I want to ask you for this segment, where do you rank Aaron Donald amongst the all-time great defensive players?
Probably just right behind Lawrence Taylor.
Right behind Lawrence Taylor?
Probably.
Oh, okay. I have him top 3.
I saw that. Who did you have at second?
Reggie White.
Reggie White.
Dude was a dog, man. You gotta look up on Reggie White.
Yeah, but I just like what Aaron Donald does for the rest of the linemen in a sense, because outside of this year, it's basically been Aaron Donald getting triple and double teams, which opens up one-on-one avenues for Greg Gaines, for Von Miller to make plays, for Leonard Floyd to have his best years when he was a Ram. And so, I just think that, one, obviously the talent he is, two, the attention he commands, and three, just being the vocal leader that he is. You saw it when we went to the Super Bowl, what was it, 2020 or 2021 against the Patriots?
Oh, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Damn, my years are off. But 2019, he was by far the most important piece on that team. You could say it was Todd Gurley, you could say it was Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff, but it was easily him. And just being a captain every year, some players don't really hold that to their name, but you can tell whether it's mentoring a Kobe Turner from this year or just being the best version of himself every day in practice, he brings it to the locker room.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, Matt, obviously. And I know you're a Rams fan, so you got to support your boy.
Yeah.
But, hey, although it is very close between Reggie White and Aaron Donald for that 2 spot, but I think White, over his career, he had more of the longevity, along with having the same peak that matches up with the other all-time greats by a long shot. So I had to give Reggie White the edge.
What's a UPI?
UPI?
Because I'm looking at Reggie White accolades. I see 2-time NFL DPOY, and then I see UPI NFC DPOY. 3-time.
I'm not UPI. I don't know what that stands for.
Let's see.
I'm looking at Associated
United Press International.
Okay, but Associated Press is the official thing, and he finished with 2 DPOYs.
Nah, I'm gonna take Aaron Donald.
13 more Pro Bowls.
Hold on, I gotta bring up something about that reel. I saw you had Dick Butkus over Ray Lewis.
Yeah, he revolutionized the linebacker position.
I'm
sorry,
bro.
I'm sorry, but when it comes to creating a top 10 list all time for defensive players, bro, unfortunately I had to leave out some names like a JJ Watt, like an Ed Reed even, which I kind of expected Ed Reed to be in that top 10, but it was between either Ray Lewis or Ed Reed.
You gotta factor the intangibles of Ray Lewis though. The intangibles I think carry some weight. For sure.
What do you mean the intangibles?
The intangibles, I mean, how nobody wants to run over the middle of the field if Ray Lewis is there. The energy he brings when he walks out, doing his dance, the Ray Lewis dance.
What we talking about on the field, though? Okay, I understand, the intangibles, what you said, but at the same time, Butkus, he's the main founder that revolutionized the position. Without Dick Butkus, you didn't have Ray Lewis doing what he did during his heyday.
So does that mean that Scott Skiles should be higher than Magic Johnson?
What the fuck you mean, bro? Scott, what? No, that's a horrible comparison.
That is a horrible comparison.
That was awful.
But I don't know. If we're evaluating talent, I think I would go Ray Lewis. I think Ray Lewis is probably the best linebacker.
I would not disagree with you if you said that. Why not?
I mean, they're both greats. I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I understand where you get the notion that Ray Lewis is the best linebacker of all time.
I also if Ray Lewis doesn't play in the same era as Tom Brady, how many more rings does he have?
Same era. I don't know if I could go there, to be honest. Cause
no, that's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair. But it's just a thought. It's just a thought.
That is fair.
But Aaron Donald, top 3 consensus. I hope top 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, deserves a statue. I'm interested to see if he'll get a statue by himself, like a solo statue, or if they're gonna wait for McVay to leave, and put him and McVay together or something like that. Which I would give him a solo statue.
Nah, you'd give Aaron Donald a solo statue.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Especially with what he means to the organization.
Yeah, for sure. All right. NFL free agency news, latest news, our next segment. And obviously, we're going to start off with the quarterback, Justin Fields.
Right behind us.
Our thumbnail for this episode. Justin Fields to Pittsburgh. Steelers, they are sending, in exchange for Fields, a 2025 sixth-round pick that can convert to a fourth rounder if Fields plays 51% of the offensive snaps this upcoming season.
I like the move. I like the move on Pittsburgh's behalf mostly. One, so let me start with Pittsburgh. One, the Russell Wilson signing, I like it even more now. I think when you look at Russell Wilson and his play style and how it compares to Justin Fields, I think they're fairly similar. So bringing in a younger Justin Fields and allowing him to sit behind Russell Wilson and kind of learn will let him develop, will let him have a better mentor than he's ever had. And I think that's a positive aspect for his career. But one thing I don't like is that they already said Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. And that's just I understand Pittsburgh's all about culture and winning, but I don't see the value in it. I don't see the value in getting 9 wins, 10 wins, and losing in the first round of the wild card, being the last wild card spot, versus trying to get game reps for your young quarterback.
Actually, I completely agree, like your sentiment with what you're trying to say, because Justin Fields, he is 25.
Yeah.
I know some people might have the opinion that he should sit behind Russ and learn over these next few years with him being on Pittsburgh. But at the same time, again, he's 25. The amount of time that he needs to have to get consistent snaps with his age, it's very important. So I do completely understand where you're coming from with what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Russ, for Pittsburgh and what they want to do as a team and organization, they're a win-now team. And in the AFC North, them being in that division, in a competitive AFC conference, Russ is the better option if you want to win games now.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I do think Russ is the better win-now quarterback, but I look at Russell Wilson and I see his age. I see, although he had a bounce-back year last year, I see that he's declining. And I look at previous quarterbacks who have chose to take the bench route and try to learn, right? You look at Jameis Winston when he was trying to sit behind Drew Brees. There was Mitch Trubisky trying to learn behind Ben Roethlisberger and stuff like that. And neither of those worked out. And so for me, I think instead of just having a guy who, hey, he's going to do the film work, he's going to always be a reliable backup, like, why not get him the games? Why not give him the game minutes, the game time? Because that's the best way to learn if you are a quarterback, game reps. And I understand that they are win now, but I just think that that's like, if you're win now and the best thing you can do is be the second best wildcard team or the second worst wildcard team, like, what is there to show? What is there to show? An embarrassing loss against Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in Pittsburgh's spot, their position, at best, you're probably going to finish as the 6th or 7th best team in the conference. Play on the road in the wild card game, and if you play against Kansas City, Buffalo, you can get your ass beat.
Well, but it's also like you were the second worst wild card team. That's without Joe Burrow being healthy. That's without Aaron Rodgers and the Jets being healthy. Anthony Richardson will be back. We'll see if the Jaguars will make the playoffs.
Don't forget about Cleveland too. They're mad banged up as well.
Cleveland finished higher than them. That's kind of
but still.
But it's like, especially, I mean, you bring up a great point because they are probably in the hardest division in the NFL, and it's like you're competing against that. You got all these quarterbacks coming back. You're in the AFC, which is just naturally harder than being in the NFC.
Yes.
What do they do if it's win now and they realize, like, oh, we're not even going to make the playoffs? Then do they play Fields?
I mean, most likely, yeah, to see what he has as a quarterback.
I don't know. I understand their win now. I do believe in building a culture, but it's like, I think if you play Justin Fields, I don't think the culture is going anywhere. You still got Mike Tomlin as the head. You still got the same defense. And you got a quarterback with some swagger, which Pittsburgh desperately needs.
And he is hungry about winning. And he showed that during this time in Chicago too. Even though obviously it didn't work out, that he was proactive about bringing the winning culture back to Chicago, trying to help that team win games consistently.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, how much worse can you do from Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph? Like, if I'm in the Pittsburgh position, I see the investment that we have in Russell Wilson only being at like $1 million, not even $2 million. And I see that, and I'm like, okay, like, yeah, Russ had a great TD interception ratio last year. He showed some sparks. He looked good when the running game was established for the Broncos. But it's not going to convert to long-term success for us. So why not try to have it so we can maybe have the new quarterback take over? And worst things worse, it'll cost us a 4th-round pick.
These are the combos, man, we got to talk about. Because it's a very interesting move.
It is.
Very interesting move. Because obviously, initially, before the season ended this year, we thought that Fields would go for like a 2nd, 3rd-round pick. Maybe have some team take a flyer on him. But obviously, as the offseason has progressed, reports have been coming out that, he might not have that high of value with the team lingering over his future. And so right now, obviously with the new team, we just got to see what's going to happen in the future.
And that's something I was going to mention, is because we've talked about Pittsburgh and how I like that they didn't have to give up much for this. But it was reported when the trade was announced, like maybe a day after, I think, that the Browns had interest from 5 other teams. And they did right by Fields because Fields wanted to go to the Steelers. I don't like that. Like I understand you want to build an organization where players feel like, hey, like this organization is going to do right by me. But if I'm an organization and I have a 3rd-round pick on the table or a 2nd-round pick, I'm not going to try to do right for a quarterback who hasn't brought me any sort of success, any sort of postseason success, not even sniffing the postseason. Like, I understand that Fields means a lot to the city and that the fans love him. I checked the comments right after they posted, and everybody was relatively upset into the Chicago Bears fanhood.
They love their brother.
They love him. They love him. But if I'm an organization, I'm going to do what's best for me, especially if this player isn't, like, bringing us any success. Which, I don't know.
Yeah, we just got to see. We just got to see. I had the same thing. Well, I said the same thing before with last episode. Again, with Russ, they're going to finish around 9 to 10 games, which that is their absolute ceiling as of right now. They're going to go on the wild card, and they're not going to do a lot of damage.
Any damage?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Which, I don't know.
But I don't know. I don't know if you're a Steelers fan, like, I don't know how many seasons of that you got left in you, but hey, it is what it is.
I mean, we know that they're not going to have a losing season under Mike Tomlin, let's be real.
No.
But this year might be their best chance to have that losing season.
Maybe, because I have them projected as of right now. We don't know how the draft's going to be like, but they're projected to finish 4th, in my opinion, in that division.
Oh,
and that they could finish like 9-8 and miss the playoffs on like tiebreakers or something like that.
I mean, if everybody in the division stays healthy, they'll be last, I think, because they were 3rd last year, and that was with a unhealthy Cincinnati team. Yeah,
and Cincinnati, they're obviously gonna have Burrow back and have a much easier schedule.
Right, because they're last in the division.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I think Cincinnati might have a chance to finish 1st in the division.
I think so too. Actually, I think so too.
Yeah. But I don't know. That division's a dog war. That division.
Every year, we love it. We love the wars in the AFC North. We love the wars.
Which one of my hot takes is actually about a different division in the AFC, but we'll get onto that later.
Okay.
But still talking about Chicago, this obviously means that they're gonna go Caleb Williams. I think we can agree. What do you think about that fit, and what do you think about the fit with the new weapons that he'll have to work with?
I think it's a great fit on paper.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but with all the weapons Williams has right now, if he comes into Chicago as the number 1 overall pick, he is probably going to have the best case scenario we have ever seen for a rookie quarterback. And that's not his fault or anything.
Brock Purdy coming in
but
once Garoppolo got hurt.
I understand that, but like you look at the Bears right now, their O-line is very solid. They just got Keenan Allen, which we'll talk about him later. DJ Moore is a top 12 to 15 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Running game, I'm not sure, but Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, and DeAndre Swift, who they just signed, that should be a nice 3-headed monster if they're gonna run with that. So you have all these weapons, and you brought in Shane Waldron, which I'm not that high on Waldron from his work in Seattle,
but he's an upgrade.
He's a massive upgrade over Luke Getsy, the previous OC.
Oh, for sure.
So you have all these pieces combined. We could see some fireworks coming out of Caleb Williams if everything goes out well.
And I think that's one of the most underrated things of this Caleb Williams move is that it resets the salary clock. Because I think Justin Fields was due for a contract not this offseason but next offseason.
Yeah, next offseason. His 5th-year option, it is due.
Right.
And
So when you bring in Caleb Williams, it resets that clock because he's going to be on a rookie contract. So it means that you can go out and spend RB1 money on DeAndre Swift to make sure all your running backs are fresh. And it means that you can spend draft capital to bring in Keenan Allen even if he does have a bigger contract because it's not going to affect you like it would if you have to sign a quarterback to a big extension in the next offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's a very underrated portion of it is because when Fields came in, like Fields and Williams are not starting in equivalent places. Like
no, not at all.
Williams is obviously coming to a much better situation, and I think that's largely in part due to just one, Ryan Poles. I think he deserves a round of applause. I think a lot of people were second guessing him, and I think that this team's starting to look like a formidable team.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, I just think that finally making like smart decisions, finally not just going with emotions. Like obviously me and you are kind of like on the take Williams train, but like a lot of Bears fans do have this sentimental connection to Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
And as an organization, it's very hard not to get that sentimental feeling, and for them not to attach themselves to him, I think is a huge thing.
Yeah, and you especially have to take in account that the Bears QB history over their entire history has not been good at all. Yeah. I mean, you look at some of the Bears' greatest quarterbacks that ever played for them. You got Jay Cutler, and then Sid Luckman, which I think he played during like World War I times. So people don't say he's their best quarterback of all time. They say Cutler, but I think he is. But I digress from that. Who else? Rex Grossman.
Mitch Trubisky was good for like a year or two.
He was cool. He was cool.
Got a lot of help from the defense, though.
That's very true. That defense was stacked that year with
that was when they had
Roquan
too.
I believe so. Yeah, Eddie Jackson was solid, bro.
Danny Trevathan.
Like a lot of great pieces on that team that year.
Akeem Hicks.
Yeah, for sure. And so, the sentiment from the Bears fans wanting to keep Fields, which I believe it's a minority from their entire fan base, but it's a very loud minority just because that generations of fans throughout history have been longing for that franchise guy and the quarterback that could take them to the promised land. And obviously Fields, that didn't work out during his time in Chicago, but he showed enough flashes and promise for some fans in the fan base to have that sentiment and agree.
Well, I think Justin Fields has potential. Like,
obviously, I'm not saying he doesn't, but
like, I don't think that potential is worth not getting Keenan Allen, not getting a good rotation in your backfield, and not resetting the salary cap. I don't think he's shown you enough to warrant that.
No, and with what you said, I absolutely agree with you because the Bears front office and Ryan Poles, they could have easily bent the knee and kept Fields for another year, maybe take Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first-round pick and moved on from there, see how that goes. But no, they made the smart decision to give Fields away and possibly get the higher potential quarterback in Caleb Williams, along with upgrading positions in the offense that they desperately needed.
The Bears are in, the NFC North? Yeah.
Yes.
Is the NFC North, the second best division in the NFC?
So
I think NFC West is the best. Rams, Niners, Seahawks, and I think Cardinals will be good next year.
I honestly think the North is going to be the best.
North has a good case because they have Lions. Lions will be good again.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's going to take another step of progression. Vikings, depending on what they can do at quarterback, and then the Bears.
So it's still going to be very competitive.
Yeah. And I mean, they were 7-10 last season. I understand you're bringing in a rookie quarterback, but I think the bar has to be set at you got to finish like 500.
No, you have to. I think
above
Chicago's a playoff team. You have to get minimum 9 wins.
9 wins. So, playoff teams are going to be Cowboys and Eagles.
There's possibly a chance where Dallas might not make it, but for now. I don't know about that whole thing, but you look throughout that roster, it's very weak. Plus, I don't know the connection that the team still has with Mike McCarthy leading them.
I'll say this right now. I was gonna put as one of my hot takes that Bill Belichick will be coaching the Cowboys in 2025, but I don't think that's like a hot take. I think it's a cooker. I don't think it's a hot take, though.
I mean, we've seen that before with the former Patriots head coach moving to Dallas, like Bill Parcells, in the 2000s.
Well, and he was linked to the Cowboys pretty heavily this offseason.
That's true.
And Mike McCarthy, his extension hasn't been renewed. He's basically coaching in the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
So, I just didn't think it was like that much of a hot take.
Fair.
But I don't know. I think that Dallas kind of just owns the other two teams in the division, be it the Giants and the Commanders, to get their respective wins. I don't necessarily know if they'll win the division, but I think they'll get a wild card spot.
Nah, I have Philly winning.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
You know that division can't have a consecutive winner.
I thought it was bullshit, but apparently not.
It's some voodoo in that division.
That man Danny's been on my ass about that every time he bring that division up.
How long has it been?
Like over 20 years.
Since there's been a consecutive winner in the NFC.
Yeah.
Okay, but so Rams and Niners will be in the playoffs too. Mm-hmm. So that's 4 teams right there. I have Lions and Packers.
Then you gotta put Chicago. I'll put Chicago in there.
Chicago, and then what team out of the NFC South? Falcons.
And Falcons. I think that's the only team.
Falcons. That's 8 playoff teams, right? There's 8 playoff teams nowadays.
No, 7.
7. Yeah.
I take out Dallas.
You think Bears over Dallas?
Yeah. No running back, wide receiver room outside.
They're gonna draft. They're gonna draft a running back. Oh, I saw Michael Gallup left.
Yeah, they cut him.
But who else do they have now?
Brandon Cooks, who is aging, declining in his performance. Jalen Tolbert, he's like a wide receiver 4.
What
5.
about He's not
Turpin.
No,
punt returner and gadget guy.
Gadget guy, yeah.
I like him in that role, but other than that, no.
Yeah, he could be a deep threat for them. He could take that Michael Gallup role.
Nah. I'm sorry.
It's hard to downgrade from Michael Gallup, I'm going to be honest.
Michael Gallup was really bad. He was one of the worst receivers in the entire league last year, but nah.
Nah, but I think they're going to draft the RB. Which, I Rico Dowdle isn't bad. I did see...
Nah, you can't have him starting.
I did see they lost Tyron Smith, though. That's a big loss.
Yeah, he went to the Jets, which I think Tyler Smith is going to... Well, he already filled that role not really nicely.
But it was nice having Tyron and Tyler as the left tackle, left guard.
Facts, yeah.
But, Dallas always has a pretty solid O-line. They'll figure it out.
Fair, yeah.
But
so, again, with Dallas, before we get into our next segment, obviously, weak RB core, got no RB1, weak wide receiving core outside of CD, no linebackers, DB is very questionable. We don't know if Trayvon Diggs is going to come back before the season starts. Probably not. They already released Stephon Gilmore. He's probably not going to be re-signed with them. There's a lot of question marks with that Dallas team.
That's true. As long as Jake Ferguson gets his touches, I got no complaints.
Because I'm on his fantasy team?
I do.
That's whack.
Whack. But I've been a Jake Ferguson fan since day one.
That's true. He's an upgrade over Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz is pretty good for them.
I take Ferguson over Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz is a bit older.
He's more explosive in the passing game.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz isn't hurdling anybody.
Athletic freak, Jake Ferguson, man. Salute to him.
Dating one of the Cavender twins, too. Respect greatness. Yeah.
Salute to that brother, man. Salute. That's a W. But next segment, another Bears-related news. Keenan Allen to the Bears.
Yeah.
Chargers get a 4th rounder in exchange for the star wide receiver.
Yeah. We already kind of talked about Chicago's aspect of this, which I like it. I think him, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet as your receiving options are pretty solid. Mm-hmm. Not to mention Swift is a good receiving back. But Justin Herbert has to be looking at his wide receiver room right now and being like, what the hell am I throwing to? Mm-hmm. He has Joshua Palmer,
Darius Davis,
and Quentin Johnson as his receiving room. Obviously they lost Eckler, they lost Mike Williams, they lost Keenan Allen this offseason. They needed to do a rebuild, but it sucks the timing that they're doing the rebuild.
What do you mean by the timing? Well, I completely understand why they let all of them go.
I just think that
you gotta reset that offensive weaponry unit.
Right, but I just think that it could have just been done earlier. because Herbert's going to be what now, 25, and you just brought in this coach in Harbaugh. Like, I think you could have been doing this, whether it was with Tyrod Taylor when you had Tyrod Taylor starting as your quarterback for a little bit, or even like Herbert's second year. I think you could have moved on to the pieces just to accelerate the rebuild, because now it's kind of like, oh, we're almost wasting our quarterback's prime.
Fair.
Which,
hey, but with I was gonna say San Diego, but nah, LA. Yeah. They want to pound the rock with the Greg Roman hire, them bringing in Gus Edwards, probably gonna get another RB in this year's draft. They want to run the rock, and them moving forward from those guys, schematically, that's what they want to do.
Who are they taking with 5? Who do you have them taking
at 5?
Yeah,
they got a wide receiver, obviously. Which it's not good. Like
they could go wide receiver, they could go tight end. They desperately need offensive.
I want them to. Me personally, I want them to go with Odunze, Romeo Odunze.
I've been seeing a lot of Joe Alt or Brock Bowers. What do you think?
I don't think Joe Alt. No, they already got the left tackle in Slater and Joe Alt. I don't expect him to slide over, which he's not comfortable with at all with what we've seen from him. So
could he play guard or no? No.
No.
Fair.
And realistically, if the Chargers were to draft Rome Odunze, his biggest trait is him being great with contested catches, him being great winning the ball in the air. Yeah. And with a quarterback like Herbert, what's one of his greatest traits?
The deep ball.
The deep ball, which we saw that with Mike Williams already, with that connection being as great as it was.
Who's better, Odunze or Neighbors?
Odunze or Neighbors?
Yeah.
I would take Neighbors, but Odunze is not far off.
You think Neighbors is going top 4?
Let's see.
Or you just think he's a better fit for the Chargers offense?
I think Odunze is a better fit, which is why I take Odunze at 5.
That's fair.
Let's see, because right now with the draft order,
is there any way Harrison falls to them?
No, not at all. No, he's not dropping.
Because first 2 teams are going quarterback, and then Cardinals will probably take Harrison.
And well, so New England is at 3 currently. I don't think Jalen Daniels should be at 3, me personally. Yeah. But that's probably the most likely thing with them obviously having Gerard Mayo, first-year head coach. It's the most realistic option in my eyes for them to get a new quarterback in this new regime. But I really like Marvin Harrison at 3. For New England moving forward, because their offensive weapons, like other than like Pop, I think Demario Douglas, the explosiveness with their receiving core is not there, and you get a guy like Harrison Jr. in there. That's very good. That is very good in my eyes.
I was just looking at CBS's mock draft. They have the Vikings trading up to the 5th pick from the Chargers and drafting J.J. McCarthy.
Hell no. That's horrible. I'm sorry. I think McCarthy is going first round. I wasn't sure about it like months prior, but McCarthy's going first round. But if you're a team trading up to get McCarthy, then I'm not a big fan of that at all.
What about this?
His ceiling does not equate to you trading up to get him and his services.
What about the lineman from Oregon State?
Oregon State? I don't know. I can't.
Talise Fuaga, maybe.
Well, they saying where are they putting him at?
Both people have him going to the Chargers. So the one who had the Vikings trading up for the 5th pick has the Chargers taking him at 11, and then one person Chris Trapasso has them taking this offensive tackle with the 5th overall pick.
I mean. I do see Fuaga going around there, like in the 11 to 15 range, if that's possible. He's like top 3 tackles in this draft class.
They got Bo Nix going to the Broncos here.
Oh, hell no, I don't like that. He's day 2.
Brock Bowers to Seattle.
I think he's gonna fall outside the top 10.
Who? Bo Nix?
No, Brock Bowers. Bo Nix shouldn't be day 1.
First round, yeah, facts.
He should not be day 1, day 2, day 2.
But off topic, but I heard NBA is trying to have day 2 for the second round.
I'm not watching that.
Well, that's kind of the point of them making the day 2. Hopefully,
still not watching that. Even though the amount of talent has vastly increased over the years in the second round, I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I'll tune in on Twitter and get like people's reactions to it.
What about J.C. Latham?
J.C. Latham at where?
To the Chargers.
At there? No.
At 11, assuming they trade.
I don't see him at 11. I think Latham he should be like a top 50 pick. He could drop to the second round. Wow. I think just off like just tackles.
Everybody
this year's tackles class is just like stacked, so I could see him dropping.
Fair. Everybody at CBS, there's like 6 experts on this article. They all have Williams, Daniels, and May as the top 3, and some of them have Daniels over May.
Daniels is not going over Drake May. I'm sorry. It's just people being bored.
Gotta get the clicks.
Daniels is not.
Yeah. Actually, everybody but one person has Daniels ahead of Drake May.
That's whatever, man. But last question before we move on. So obviously, with the new duo in Chicago at wide receiver, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, where do they rank amongst the best wide receiver duos in the league?
Okay, behind Philly. What version of Chris Godwin are we assuming with Mike Evans?
Like top 30 receiver, like 25 receiver, like near the bottom.
Okay, because Keenan Allen's obviously
30.
better than Chris Godwin, but I'd put Mike Evans above DJ Moore.
No.
I would. Mike Evans is so consistent.
No.
Such a good red zone threat too. Which that's where you win the game. That's where you win and lose the games.
I think DJ Moore does more for a team, like with his skill set than Mike Evans.
That's fair.
He's more dynamic.
That's fair. I would probably have Seattle above the Bears. With
DK and Lockett.
Yeah, I'd probably have DK and Lockett. Rams, obviously.
I wouldn't though. I wouldn't. Puka and Cup, yes.
For sure.
I have Puka and Cup over.
Assuming Ayuk stays and assuming T. Higgins stay, Bengals and 49ers.
Yeah, Ayuk and Dibo and T and
Jamar.
So that's what we got, like
4 or 5.
The 2 we just mentioned and
Eagles,
yeah. So that's 3. Oh, Tyreek and Waddle, that's 4.
Oh yeah. Tyreek and Waddle. Jets don't have a second wide receiver.
No.
Bills don't have a second. Ravens, no. Cowboys only have CD.
Tank Dell and Nico Collins?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not doing that just yet.
Okay.
Who's the second wide receiver in Detroit? Oh, I'll take Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Okay. That's 5. The Detroit Jets like Josh Reynolds. So hell no.
Jameson Williams?
No, not J-Mo.
Let me look.
Not J-Mo, sadly. So we do have our 5.
It's probably right outside.
You want D-Hop and Calvin Ridley?
No, I don't. Not in 2024.
Okay.
Not in 2024.
Would have gone crazy in 2020.
The Commanders don't have a bad receiving core, but they don't have 2 dudes better than those guys.
No.
Similarly, Packers.
Oh wait, Curtis. You talking about if Curtis Samuel wasn't within that Commanders team?
Oh, Curtis Samuel left?
He left to the Bills, brother.
Oh, so I didn't even know that. I've been sleeping.
My brother.
Browns don't have a second wide receiver.
No, not Saints. No.
We
have our 5.
Yeah, it's probably.
So it'll be outside that top 5 list we just mentioned.
What about they'd be ahead of like Drake London and Darnell Mooney for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so right outside the top 5. Then.
So like 6. Like 6, 7 around that, like 6. In that range.
Yeah, unless like Devontae Adams just carries him and Jacoby Myers.
Nah, that's not
such
happening.
A high level.
But you can't solo carry.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can't solo.
That's fair. But yeah, an elite wide receiver core for sure.
Yeah, you can't solo. Yeah, for sure.
Who's the wide receiver 3 there?
In Chicago?
Yeah.
No, for a fact, Donald Mooney left to the Falcons.
Yeah.
We just mentioned that.
Yeah. Unless they just draft one.
I'm blanking on his name. They only drafted a receiver. Oh, Tyler Scott.
Tyler Scott.
He was a rookie last year.
Any chance they want to get Chase Claypool back?
Fuck no. No. Tyler Scott was a rookie coming out of Cincinnati. I'm not high on him. Velus Jones Jr. He's one of the worst receivers in the league. I'm sorry. I don't think.
What about
wide receiver
hypothetical of Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson?
No.
Yeah.
Although I am high on Michael Wilson. He's gonna be nice.
Bears.
And I'm not saying that because he's on my fantasy team. Like somebody I'm talking to right now would
nobody's
would
on my
say.
fantasy team unless I think that they're good though. You know what I mean? Why the hell would I have a shitty player on my fantasy team?
No, but I'm saying like we be dabbling more in the evaluation with players around the league, young talents. That's what we do around here.
Fair.
But
main segment then?
Yeah, let's move on to that. We've been talking about this for a little bit now. Excuse me. Main segment for the 50th episode of the podcast. We're gonna spew out some of our hot takes. And man, hey, the initial goal is to, give our own opinion.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep. It's a hot take, so majority of these takes people won't like. No,
we're gonna get fucking baked for these if we post them on other platforms.
Which we will.
We will, bro. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Because it's a hot take.
Exactly. But I'll start us off.
Oh, we going straight into it.
Let's go straight into it.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
For?
No, let's not linger on with this. Let's go.
I mentioned how I was gonna start with my most modest take and work my way up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned how one of my takes was about an AFC division.
Okay.
I got the Jets winning the AFC East and being a true contender this year.
Oh, hell no.
I got them winning the AFC East. I think if you remember last year, we both had the Jets winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's a very similar roster. Obviously, I don't like them losing Bryce Huff, but they've committed to building the O-line, which I like. Rodgers would have been healthy to play at the end of last year if they were in a winning position or a playoff position, but they weren't. But he's had like a whole summer to recover, basically. Garrett Wilson and Bryce Hall are going to hit progression, and you still have a great defense. And I looked, they finished third in the division last year, so they're going to have a relatively easy schedule as well. The Bills, it's basically between them and the Bills. I don't think the Dolphins are going to win the division. I think the Dolphins just have lost too many pieces this year, especially on the O-line. And I just like the Jets. I really think that they're going to win the division.
I'm not. No.
I really think. I mean, it's a hot take. You don't got to agree.
I understand. I understand, but me, no. Mm-hmm. I just feel AFC, again, very competitive. I got Buffalo winning the division again, even though they've lost some of their most talented pieces in this free agency period.
Yeah, they lost a ton of pieces.
Yeah, they did. But again, if you got 17 and 14, if he does come back, you got a chance. And I even then that's enough for me to put Buffalo above everyone else in that division.
I don't know. I just think Buffalo lost too many pieces. They lost their
I don't think New York
entire secondary.
I don't think the Jets have enough pieces for compete for the division.
Oh, they definitely do. They got the skill positions and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall.
Bro, where's the wide receiver 2 at?
Wide receiver 2. I mean, who's he going to be? Lazard?
It's like no.
I mean, Lazard wasn't even getting minutes. Corey Davis retired, I think.
Yeah, like Randall Cobb, no. Like their wide receiver 2 right now is like
Aaron
Xavier
Rodgers
Gibson.
Is good enough to make a wide receiver 2, though.
Bro, Garrett Wilson, although I love him as a receiver, he's not Devontae Adams.
He's not.
I'm sorry.
He's not. But, I mean, he was productive last year with Zach Wilson.
I understand that, but we comparing Garrett Wilson to Devontae Adams at his peak, it's completely different.
Oh, I'm not saying that they're on the same level at all. I think that Garrett Wilson's like borderline top 10, and I think that Aaron Rodgers can get that top 10 out of him.
And you add so you add the fact that receiving core is still mediocre, very mediocre.
Sure.
Outside of Garrett Wilson.
Sure.
Nathaniel Hackett is still the OC, which is probably the worst offensive mind in the entire league by far.
Yeah, but
I don't care if
it makes Rodgers happy.
It's still an issue.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's still
the
an
Bills
issue.
don't got Ken Dorsey anymore, so that's a good thing for them.
No, it's still a major issue.
But I mean, they got a better running game than the Bills.
They're very limited with as a passing unit too, as well.
But defensively, I think they're like way better than the Bills.
I understand that, but offensively, I still have a ton of question marks about that unit.
Which I mean that's well warranted.
Yeah,
that's well warranted.
Yeah,
but
and including bringing back an Aaron Rodgers who's gonna be 40 years old, coming off an Achilles tear.
Sure.
And you're gonna ask him to carry this offense basically with him, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall.
Which is what we were expecting last year.
It's not Green Bay. It's different. We're talking about a completely healthy Aaron Rodgers.
He's completely healthy. He's completely healthy.
Off an Achilles tear.
He's had over like 6 months to come back.
Brother, off an Achilles tear when he's damn near 40. And he was all in his his ability to evade pressure.
Sure.
To evade pressure, it's gonna be different.
So what's the difference with the Falcons then?
You're not expecting Kirk Cousins to carry the offensive unit. There's a lot more talented weapons within that Atlanta offense.
There is, but
along with better offensive minds, with Zach Robinson being the OC, the new OC for them.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still banking on Kirk Cousins to look like a form of himself post Achilles tear.
No, I understand that. But at least in Atlanta, you have enough explosiveness with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, and even with Darnell Mooney, who has shown flashes over his career.
Yeah.
Like, Kirk Cousins has less pressure to carry the offensive unit compared to Aaron Rodgers with the Jets.
But we've never seen Kirk Cousins play at the level of Aaron Rodgers.
No, I understand that, but still.
I don't know. I just think they got the best defense in the division. Last year, I think it was you who had Garrett Wilson as your offensive player of the year heading into the year.
Yo, it was beautiful. He was gonna get his yards.
I don't necessarily think he's gonna be an Opoi this year, but I think that he can be in contention if Rodgers is 80% of himself.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I think. Maybe Rodgers isn't 100% to start the year, but if he's 80%, I still like this pick.
Okay.
All right. What's your hot take?
All right, I'm gonna go with my most modest one too.
Yeah.
Like you, Matt.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs are easily the worst out of the top 4 sports leagues.
Top 4 sports leagues. So you got NFL, NBA, MLB, and then what?
NHL.
Oh, NHL easily better.
I think baseball's better.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not an MLB guy, but I've heard baseball playoffs are like one of the best things.
It's beautiful, my brother. October baseball's different, bro. It is different. You can be a casual watching baseball, which I am, unfortunately. Sorry, guys, but just the energy and just the atmosphere, especially, bro. Baseball stadium, especially on prime time, it is a beautiful sight to see, my brother.
That's how I feel about hockey.
Philly's atmosphere in October, it's fucking amazing. I love the Phillies. Watching Phillies playoff games.
I can't comment. The last time I watched a baseball game was like, I'm not joking, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
I've heard it's.
It is fucking like the Rangers run, bro. Oh my god, like that series versus Houston. That was amazing. Like, I think his name's Rodolfo Garcia from the Rangers. He was spectacular that run.
I don't know. Brilliant. I'd say it's either between NBA or MLB. I was gonna say that NBA is last just based off predictability.
Yeah.
But I mean, last year we saw an 8 seed make the finals.
But how rare is that?
Well, that's a good point.
Throughout all the other teams.
But I mean, we saw a 7 seed upset a 2 seed.
But we've seen in the NFL wildcard teams win it all, like 6 seed.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for MLB. Does MLB have a lot of upsets?
For the NFL, I'll talk about NFL, but for the MLB especially, yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. MLB as well too.
Like
the Rangers, no one expecting the Rangers to make it that far.
True. Yeah. I don't think the Rangers were
make it that far and win it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad take.
I'm saying, but okay, and the other facts I have, again, rarely any upsets, like you said, Matt. The atmosphere is the absolute weakest compared to the rest of the.
I mean, the Kings had a good atmosphere last year.
Yeah,
but that was.
But it's the downfall of NBA playoff atmospheres needs to be studied, because you remember back in the day, teams like OKC. Yeah. They, all the shirts they had whiteouts, Miami too, whiteouts, wearing all blue. Where are those elements being put in the league today? None. Like, you're not seeing that anymore, man.
None. I remember last year when I was at the finals game for the Nuggets, I was like, surely there has to be a shirt on my seat.
Like, you got to have shirts everywhere for the fans to wear.
Yes, you got to get the whiteouts.
That's basketball heritage, bro. Yeah. And, like that, the first round is a snooze fest, especially in the East, man. Like, every single year, it's horrible in the first round of the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. And lastly, the play-in tournament. Although we've had some bangers in the past, some very good bangers, I will say that. In general, it's not needed. If you don't have enough wins to be a top 8-seeded team in either conference, you don't deserve to get in.
I like the play-in. I would add like a contingency, like the 9 or 10 seed have to be within 3 games of the 8 or 7
I'd take
seed.
the 10 seed out there.
Well, it depends. Like I mean, the West 10 seed's like what, like a couple games back of the like 6 seed, basically.
Even then, like what has the best 10 seed throughout the play-in's history done? And that was like the Thunder last year. And when they played against the Wolves for that 8 seed spot, I believe they got their asses kicked. It was a complete blowout. Like, you don't need a 10 seed to be in that play-in tournament if we're gonna go that far. Just make it a winning game between the 8th and 9th seed and call it a day.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad take. I'll move on to my second one, another NFL one. This one might be hotter. I think it's harder, a hotter take, but I wrote that the 49ers will go down as the greatest collection of talent and coaches to never win a ring. You look at the coaches that they've had: Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, DeMeco Ryan, Steve Wilkes, the last 3 all shown to be individually successful when they've had their own teams. You look at all the all-pros that they have, be it on offense or defense, probably the most stacked roster in the NFL for how many years now? And yet 0 rings to show.
They're up there for sure. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say greatest team to not win it. I would give it to.
I think, but I didn't write it in this, but I think when you factor in how long they've been together as well.
Okay. Historically, I would take the 70s Vikings teams with the Purple People Eaters, led by Bud Grant and Fran Tarkenton. Just like I know it's old school, man, but at the same time, we look at like the entire landscape of the history of the National Football League. Sure. You have to put the Vikings there, which they went to multiple Super Bowls during that span, and throughout that period, they went against like juggernauts like the Steelers and the Steel Curtain.
But how many All-Pros did they have? Because you got like at least, 5 All-Pros on both sides of the ball for the 49ers?
Okay, but I'll tell you this. An all-time head coach.
Shanahan's up there.
But I consider Bud Grant to be greater than Kyle Shanahan. No offense to Shanahan, but still. All-time head coach, led by an all-time great quarterback in Fran Tarkenton, who was a top 15 quarterback all-time, and also an elite all-time defense, the Purple People Eaters. That 70s unit, led by I believe Jim Marshall. I'm telling you. Yeah,
but I mean, you got a top 3 offensive mind with top 3 defensive minds in DeMeco Ryan and Robert Saleh as DCs. You got probably the best linebacker, probably one of the best edge rushers in Nick Bosa.
What do you mean one of the best linebackers?
In the league right now. Okay. In the league, the best linebacker in the league right now. Probably the best secondary linebacker in Dre Greenlaw. What was Hufanga? One of the best safeties in the league?
Yeah.
Hufanga was one of the best safeties in the league. And then that's not even getting into offense, where basically every skill position is an All-Pro. And was Brock Purdy an All-Pro this year?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so either. He would have been. But he was in MVP talks. He was in MVP talks. Which, for right or wrong, he was in MVP talks. I just think that when you factor in how long they've been together, the fact that the NFC is the weaker of the 2 conferences by a sizable margin, the fact that they've consistently been favorites, their coaching department, and just the overall talent, and yet 0 rings, greatest collection of talent and coaches to never win.
Just ran into a dynasty.
The 49ers literally had a chance to be a dynasty or be a dud. And it looks like dud if you just look on paper.
Shout out Mahomes.
Yeah,
Shout out
Mahomes has single-handedly ended.
shout out my homeboy.
Twice.
Shout out my homeboy.
Twice. What's your second hot take?
My guy. Second hot take.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it with the NFL.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a quarterback.
Yeah.
John Elway
Mm-hmm.
is the most overrated quarterback of all time. He is not a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. And before I get into this, I do believe John Elway is an all-time great. I still believe that. He absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But when you look at most overrated quarterbacks, the consensus is going to be a Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, like Joe Namath. But no, that's too easy. That's too easy. To me, throughout the entire landscape, I feel like what John Elway did, his resume compared to all the other all-time greats, is overrated.
But you don't think he's top 10?
No,
I don't think he's top 5, but I think he's like top 10.
I have my top 10 quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
It's not in order.
Yeah.
Mahomes,
Sure.
Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Why you not with that?
I'm gonna put it at a half. I gotta listen to the rest.
Wow. Okay, Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron Rodgers,
Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Montana,
Yep.
Manning,
Yep.
Marino,
Yep.
Steve Young,
Yep.
and John Unitas.
Okay. United. I would have Kurt Warner over United.
Kurt Warner over Johnny Unitas?
I think so.
Kurt Warner over Johnny Unitas? Yo, bro, you tripping. You tripping.
Nah. But the Drew Brees one, I think I'd take Elway. I think Elway's got more rings and he's always had a less.
Oh, we talk the rings argument. Oh, my God.
If you're talking a top 10 list all time, how can you not bring rings into it?
Why are we bringing, bro? We don't bring rings into basketball.
We bring rings into basketball. Is
no,
filled with
that's
ring
cap.
culture.
That's
Every
cap.
basketball all-time talk has a ring debate.
Man, bro, it's a team sport.
How many? When we just did the Hall of Fame, how many players do we say won't be there because they don't got a ring? Exactly.
But that wasn't my criteria though.
No, but it's a factor. If you're comparing players, rings is absolutely a key definer. Winning on the biggest stage is an indicator. And Drew Brees, how many years was it where the Saints had one of the most talented rosters?
But there was a large period during Drew Brees' time with the Saints that he was single-handedly carrying those units, especially with an all-time horrible defense post Bounty Gate, all-time passing records.
The defense wasn't.
It was horrible.
When they had Cam Jordan and Mario Davis.
Bro, post Bounty Gate and before 2017.
Oh, then sure.
The defense was horrible.
But how many years was that?
That was I think
2 or 3.
No, like 4 or 5 year period. And he had all time passing records with the offensive unit other than Jimmy Graham. They weren't that great. And Marcus Colston.
Michael Thomas.
Again, he came in around towards the end. But again, Marcus Colston and Jimmy Graham they were the only great receiving options, offensive weapons on that unit. And
who did the Broncos have as receiving options outside of Shannon Sharp? There you go. Yeah.
That's the argument you can have.
Yeah.
I won't knock you on that one. See, Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith, but they came in during the very end.
Was Atwater? Or Atwater wasn't even on offense, was he?
No, he was a safety.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Bro, my brother.
That's what I was thinking.
Brother, man, I think.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think. But with John Elway, no first-team All-Pros throughout his entire career, no OPOYs, only led the league in completions and passing yards one time, not even a top 4 quarterback from his era, Young, Montana, Favre, Marino, I have all better than him. His MVP that he won in '87, that was fake. It should have gone to Jerry Rice. If you go on Football Reference and look up the stats, and you look at the eye test too, the tape, Rice was the clear favorite to win it over Elway, in my opinion. And again, although he carried those Broncos teams to multiple Super Bowls, while not winning the majority of them, he still had all-time horrible performances in the big game.
I'd take Elway over Brees.
I take Drew
I do
Brees
remember
easily.
those years now where the defense was atrocious.
And he was putting up $5K every year.
Yeah, I remember those years. But I'm taking
I'm
two rings.
I'm taking Drew Brees. Even in those 2 rings, Terrell Davis, you can't leave him out there.
I mean, but
he was the vocal point to them winning those 2 rings over Elway.
But you said, what is it? Elway was the 4th best quarterback in his era.
Not even the top 4 quarterback from his era. He's like 5, the 5th best.
What's Drew Brees in his era? 3rd or 4th?
Let's see.
Because Rodgers and Brady are obviously better.
Rodgers, Brady,
Manning.
Payne.
Peyton Manning.
So that I think
I'm not taking
Brees.
Eli. I'm not taking Eli over Drew Brees.
I think Brees.
Do you count Russell Wilson better than Drew Brees?
Fuck no.
I'm trying to think. So what? He's the 4th best quarterback during his era.
Yeah. Unless you want to add A-Rod to that too.
I counted A-Rod.
You did count A-Rod. Okay.
Because I have Brady, A-Rod, and then Peyton Manning. And then who else? I mean, Big Ben. I take Drew Brees over Big Ben.
I had to do that too.
Drew Brees obviously over Tony Romo. Yeah, 4th best quarterback in this time. I'd take Drew Brees, but not a horrible take.
No.
Not a horrible take.
Again.
I mean, I take John Elway, but not a horrible take.
I'm not saying John Elway was completely trash at football. That would be me just being ignorant, which I'm not. I'm not that type of person at all.
Yeah.
I do understand the greatness of John Elway and what he provided for the Broncos back in his heyday in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like these top 10 quarterback all-time lists, we gotta stop overhyping them up. Like for some of these lists, I see him in the top 5. Around that range, which I just don't see him being there.
No, not top 5.
Not at all.
He'd be towards my back half of top 10.
Right.
I'm going to get into my number 1 hot take.
Ooh.
It's NBA related. And I want you to let me explain it before you get into it. Because I have a feeling you're not going to like it.
Okay.
But my last hot take for the episode. If Tatum doesn't win a ring this year, then he will never win a ring during his tenure with the Celtics.
Oh, my God.
And here's my rationale. Derek White is playing the best basketball of his career. Jaylen Brown is playing the best basketball of his career as well, arguably living up to the contract. Porzingis is probably playing the best ball of his career when he's healthy.
Yeah. You
guys are by far the favorite out of the East. Best offensive rating in the league, top 3 defensive rating in the league. And the East is the weakest it's ever looked. The Heat don't look the same. The Bucks don't look the same, and they've had the coaching saga. Knicks aren't healthy. Cavs aren't healthy. This is the year. And I don't know how many better chances the Celtics will get than this year. Now, you can argue that maybe the Nuggets will die off or that the Nuggets will be worse a different year. But I think that this is the best year that they have to win it. And so if they don't win it, I don't think he wins a ring during his tenure with the Celtics.
Tatum. We always got to talk about Tatum. Oh, Tatum's a choker. Tatum's this. Tatum's that. Oh, my God. Jason Tatum, bro. Like, man, why is he so overrated, bro?
I don't think he's overrated. But
that's what some people are saying. But I'm not discrediting
I mean, if you try to put him top 5, I won't have him top 5.
Where would you put him?
Like back half of
top 10?
Yeah.
I'll put him like near 6.
Yeah, I'd have him like 6, 7, maybe 8.
6, yeah.
But one of my hot takes was about be that none of the top 5 players in the league are American-born. But that's not a hot take because I think that's what it is. Because you got...
Could you put Shea in the top 5?
Shea's top 5, but he's not American-born.
You put Shea over Tatum?
I put Shea over Tatum.
Oh, fuck no.
I put Shea over Tatum.
Oh, hell no.
You have Shea as your MVP and you don't got him as better than Tatum?
But was D-Rose ever a top 5 player in the league?
No, but, I mean, he could have been if he stayed healthy.
And he still won MVP, which he deserved to win MVP that year.
Sure. I'm going to take Shea, though. But you'll have Shea, Jokic, Joel, Giannis, and Luka. And then Wemby might have a case for it in a couple years.
He's for sure getting in the top 5, yeah.
But
I give him like 2.
I'd have Steph above Tatum right now.
No.
I'd have Steph above Tatum. That Warriors team without Steph is below the Spurs, arguably.
Yeah, that Warriors team's fucking oh, my God.
And just with how clutch Steph has been this year. But what you think this is the best year for the Celtics?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, with how weak the East has been, us being like greater than every other team, like competing in that conference. Yeah, it has to be the year.
Has to be.
Which I think it is. It will be. Even if we go into the finals against the Nuggets and we do lose, which I'll like fucking hate that shit like all summer. But at the same time, like I'll like come to terms with it. I don't know when, but I'll come to terms with it.
You can live with losing to the best player in the world. You can't live with losing in the East.
If we lose to the Bucks, like the Heat, even some other team like your Knicks or the Cavs, oh hell no,
blow it up.
Hell no. We got to look into like trading away. Unfortunately, like Jalen or some shit, trying to retool, do something, because no, there is absolutely zero way where we need to go to 6 or 7 with any of these teams. I want to say 6, but like a game 7 with any other Eastern Conference team, no way. That can't happen.
Just be ready for the choke.
Against who? Name the teams.
Shit. A healthy Knicks.
Fuck no.
I'm playing.
Man, we beat y'all in 5. I'm bringing out the brooms.
Hey, they undefeated since OG came back.
I'm bringing out the brooms.
Held teams to under 105 games in a row.
Bro, I'm bringing out the brooms.
I thought this was the high-scoring NBA.
I'm bringing out the brooms. Bring out the brooms. Bring out the brooms.
I've said it before. Only team that really could beat Celtics is Bucks and Heat, but I'd take Celtics over both.
Miami, and that's just not even like off basketball. It's a mentality thing.
Yeah, for real.
It's a mentality thing. But whenever like I hear people say, "Oh, the Heat gonna beat the Celtics in the playoffs," it's nothing about basketball. We're clearly the better team.
Yeah.
Other than even then, other than
playoff Jimmy.
Like, well, not even that, but other than like last year where we were the favorites to win, the other times we played the Heat in this like current era between Tatum and Jaylen Brown versus Jimmy and Bam, there wasn't a clear favorite. You can't say there was a clear favorite in any of those series.
I'm trying to think. Who was the favorite in the bubble series?
I think Miami. Miami had to be, yeah.
Yeah, Miami was hooping during the bubble because they swept Pacers first round. And then Celtics had like a close second round against the Raptors.
Yeah, we had to beat him in 7, which that was bullshit.
That was a dogfight series.
Because the Anunoby, he hit the game-winning 3. Could have went up like 3-0.
When Taco Fall was the inbound defender.
I hated that game so much.
Yeah. And Norman Powell was going insane.
Yeah, and then he beat the Bucks in 5. So I think people were saying Miami was going to beat us as the favorites.
Yeah. Nah, the Porzingis edition was basically just for the Heat. It was literally to try to X Factor Bam.
Yeah, because over the past matches we had against Miami in the postseason, like when it comes to like bigs getting easy buckets inside, you've had massive problems with that because of Bam being as great of a defensive big as he is. But you have Porzingis, like a great outside threat, along with being good inside. It's a great X factor for us.
Yeah, it makes Bam have to make a decision every time.
Yeah.
But what's your hottest of takes?
My hottest of takes?
Yep.
All right, last one. Women's college basketball, as of right now, is a top 3 entertaining league in America. It's the top 3 most entertaining league, yeah. So
obviously NFL and NBA are above it. I'm going to put NHL. You know I like hockey, so I'm going to put NHL above it. I thought at first where you were going with it was women's college hoops is better than men's college hoops, which I would agree with.
That's not even a hot take. It is.
Which I would agree with.
It is.
I'm taking NHL over women's basketball or women's college basketball, but I don't hate it. I don't hate the take. I would probably have it for like 4 or 5.
To me, I would have basketball over it. Mm-hmm. And then
NFL.
I'm not sure about the NFL at this point.
There's a reason every Sunday you know what your plans are.
But at the same time, though, is it because like all the other factors are going on with it, like gambling.
But you don't do any of that. Oh, well, you do fantasy football.
I do it, and it's just like at the same time when you look at the product over the NFL these past couple of years, it's been very poor. It's been very poor.
Yeah, but I'd still take the NFL over it just because I don't think I think part of the entertainment is knowing there's a game tonight.
Yeah.
And when you can look forward into your week to a Thursday night or like, oh, it's a Monday night, like looking forward to that kind of stuff, I think is part of the entertainment.
But what if the games aren't good?
Then I mean, you live with it.
I mean,
let's be real. You're still watching the game.
I understand that. But when it comes to like women's college hoops right now, whenever there's a big game or whatever, like there's a marquee player like a Caitlin Clark or even a Juju Watkins that they're playing in prime time, the game always delivers. They always perform on a high level.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the same thing then for like big stake NFL games. Like, does a Mahomes primetime game never live up to the hype?
This past year it didn't.
Which primetime game?
Basically all of them.
No, I mean I'm talking like marquee games.
All marquee games.
Yeah. Or like I mean even like Ravens Niners, like the 1 seed versus 1 seed. I mean Ravens Niners. Like, yeah, it was a blowout, but like that was entertaining for the entire game basically until like the fourth quarter.
I mean, the discourse was fun though.
The discourse
was baking the fuck out of San Fran.
Which I mean, is that a factor that we're considering? Which like the Twitter world and what's trending during the game and stuff like that, because fan engagement's probably highest in the NFL.
That's fair.
I think. I don't know. I would have NHL there though. Like I would have NHL if you want to take out NFL.
Yeah.
Because NHL, like, I know you're probably not watching NHL, which I mean it's not a popular sport, but I think it's hard to beat NHL entertainment.
Right. That's true. But to me, I just think women's college basketball right now, it just has the perfect combination of the star power, the personalities, the rivalries, and just the pure like entertaining marquee games to like have it be amongst the top leagues in America.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I'd probably have it 3 or 4. I'd probably have it 4, but I don't hate it if you have it.
It's like fucking crazy to think about right now, because even like 5 years ago, if you go onto like a comment for ESPN and you look at some like women's college hoops or the WNBA, there's a bunch of like refrigerator jokes, like
I mean there still is
jokes.
To be fair.
No, but but I'm saying though, like there's all the like the top comments being like the shit on like women and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But like as of right now, bro, it's completely changed. You got people like fighting back against that, which is like it's a great thing to see.
I agree. I did see something recently where it had Lauren Betts as the top 10 player in the nation currently.
Yeah, that UCLA team's fucking good, and it's good because of like mainly her. Which I'm not discrediting the other top players on that UCLA team. They got studs too as well. Like they got absolute stars, but Lauren Betts is like the vocal point of that unit. Like they're a top 3 team in the tournament right now.
You have to go 4 years though.
Yeah, you have to go 4 years because of the WNBA and how they do like their draft and stuff like that.
I don't know if Lauren has the intention of doing the same thing, but I did a project with Mariah Hudgens. Shout out Mariah Hudgens.
Shout out to Seneca University, bro. They're hooping.
She was telling me that she'd rather play Euroball than WNBA. She says it's better pay and you don't gotta wait 4 years, I think. Yeah,
which that type of format has been like happening recently with new WNBA draftees as well. So I do understand where she's coming from with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta look into like the travel aspect of it and being away with your family for that long of time.
True.
So.
True. All important to consider.
Yeah.
But we got anything else for the episode?
Nah, but other than hey, we got a whole week off from school.
Oh yeah.
So we gonna ball out.
Yeah. Dibo's going to vacation in Spain.
Cancun, baby.
Lovely.
Cancun. Lovely. Cancun on 3.
No. But you should go to Coco Bongo. You know what that is?
What's Coco Bongo?
It's the club down there.
Coco Bongo.
Coco Bongo, bro.
Coco Bongo. Hey, I love that name.
But have you started packing yet?
Nah.
Probably not. Yeah.
I'm starting. I'm gonna like pack like tonight.
Are you gonna plan some fits or what?
You know, I'm gonna put out a little bit of some nice fits. Got to. It's Cancun.
Can the fans expect to see an Insta pic or not?
Probably gonna keep it a little bit private, but
fair.
I'm gonna share some with the boys in the group chat.
Lovely. Can't wait. Safe travels, of course.
Yeah.
Safe travels, of course. All inclusive, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
We getting like near 90-degree weather, bro. I can't wait.
Damn, what's the weather supposed to be down here? Cold?
Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, it's a lot better for this week, like in the 60s, but it's completely different compared to Cancun, obviously.
Yeah.
We're gonna be balling, man.
You gonna get sun-kissed?
We're gonna be balling.
Do you sunburn?
No.
No. Fair.
No.
Fair. Do you apply sunscreen or no?
No.
Damn. You playing with fire?
And I be winning.
Oh.
Although I might bring some actually. Just to make
Just
sure.
in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. But that's how. Do you know what airline you are?
No.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
Hopefully not Frontier, but if it's Frontier, then we'll move.
No move.
But
Ideal airline? Ideal airline? Or what's your favorite airline?
Southwest is the best one.
Southwest.
It's the most ideal. But did you hear the news with like Boeing?
About the door that fell off?
Yeah, bro.
What happened with them?
Like, bro, like you know, like you said, the door. Like there was one that the wall fell off when they was like about to fly off. It's crazy with Boeing, bro.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not on a Boeing flight.
Hell no, I'm never going on a Boeing flight.
Your ass don't got a choice.
Boeing, bro.
What are you gonna do? See it's a Boeing flight and cancel your ticket?
Bro,
while you're on the plane?
I'm gonna avoid that.
That's fair.
I'm gonna avoid that.
That's fair. But yeah, they gotta figure out something. I heard that like the I'm blanking.
Like one of the dudes that worked there.
The nails, thank you. The nails on the door weren't properly secured.
Oh, the nails, yeah.
Or properly tightened.
Bro,
you can't be doing that on a plane, bro. Let's be real.
I don't even understand like how you're gonna like cut costs with like flight travel.
It's a business at the end of the day.
But at the same time, it's like flying, bro. Like you can't play with that.
I heard something that they're looking back into the Malaysia flight to try to see if they can find that.
Oh, the one that was missing?
The one that was missing. Yeah, that's been like what, like over a decade?
Like a decade. Yeah, you're never finding that. They're never gonna find that, bro.
That shit's bottom of the ocean somewhere.
Never.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, you're never gonna find that plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, how much of the ocean do you think is unexplored?
A great amount.
A great amount. Have you heard the NASA conspiracy?
What about the NASA conspiracy?
When NASA was first founded, like the first 10 years of NASA was ocean exploration.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory is like, what did they see in the ocean that made their whole business change to how do we get off this planet? You like that? Is that a thinker?
I'm thinking about it.
It's like one of the only conspiracies I actually like.
Yeah. Jesus.
But yeah, there's got to be like some Loch Ness monster down there in the ocean.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But Matt, do you want to wrap it up for us?
Yeah. Get it. Dang, that was gonna be way too.
Man,
hot.
you messed up.
Now I'm fumbling.
Crazy.
Now I'm fumbling.
That's crazy.
But
crazy.
Keep showing love on the social media platforms. We're close to 750 subscribers on YouTube, so get us there. But subscribe on the YouTube. Follow all Instagram, TikTok. We're back on Spotify. At Lunchroom Debates is the handle. You guys will like the content. We make weekly podcasts, daily shorts, daily reels. Always trying to get you guys content. Always trying to make it fun for you guys. So leave a follow, leave a like, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're out of here. Thank y'all for the love and support. Peace.
Peace.